What's up, y'all? This is the first drum lesson on my Drums 2 3 Go YouTube channel, so I hope you'll enjoy this. This is going to be a breakdown of the drum groove that I'm playing on one of my shorts, and that's actually a transcription of the Berj Fazlian, and I really hope I'm pronouncing that name right. Groove. I'll find out on Tuesday how to actually pronounce his name because I'll be interviewing him, so also hopefully you look forward to checking out that interview on my YouTube channel. So if you haven't checked out the video yet, just go to my YouTube shorts, right? Or look up Berj Fazlian on Instagram. And it's a really, really crazy drum and bass groove. Kind of sounds like this. Pretty cool, right? So one thing I noticed right away before I even started transcribing is that he uses hi-hat notes with his foot as a substitute for an actual hit with the stick, right? So the first time I encountered this was actually Steve Gadd playing 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover. And it goes like this. Right? So this already sounds kind of like it's in that vein of a drum and bass groove, right? It sounds like this. So we really have to focus on a nice, snappy sound. So that's what I would recommend too. Like, don't be too early in the opening. Right? So okay, so now let's dive into that groove. I'm gonna break it down. Let me first play it slow for you, okay? Here we go. Okay? So it starts off with a triple paradiddle. 1, 2, 3, double. And you know what? I like transcribing, but I also don't. I like it if the purpose is gathering ideas, using them as springboards for your own playing, and getting to your own creative ideas. But if it's only about copying, right? That's like, I don't know. It's Berj's groove, you know. He came up with that. So I also want to stay away from it, if you know what I mean. So nevertheless, we're going to use some of these springboards. So what I would do is incorporate that groove, or at least this first partial. So just giving you some options there, right? But please just use that as like a gateway. So now the second partial of that groove, or the second beat. So 8 notes, right? 8 30-second notes. So to be precise, first snare drum note is an accent, and the last one. Now let's maybe just use that as a filler, right? Let's move over to the third partial, okay? So it's going to sound like this. And this one reminds me a lot of that Steve Gadd groove. Could be some kind of answer to that. Right? So if we loop it, we have that nice shuffle rhythm going into higher. beat, right? Well, let's try that. Let's try and move the hi-hat like that. Right? Lots of cool things. Like, I never played this thing before, and I was just sitting with it for a little while. I already came up with something cool. So that's what I want you to do, okay? That's exactly why I'm breaking it down. So now after the last beat, this one goes like that. Let me just improvise a little bit for you using some of these ideas. That's how I would go about this, right? So, of course, if you just want to do the... That's also fine. And also I'm going to add this little bell to it because that's how Berj is doing it. It's some kind of elephant bell. Like, I think it's like an Indian percussion, an Indian bell. But what it does, right? Whenever those hi-hat openings and closings happen, it adds some kind of an extra grace note to it. It adds to the mystery of the groove. There's a little, it's a drag on that thing, right? Like, I wouldn't be able to play this without the bell. So it's a nice cool extra to it. It makes the groove even more obscure. And like when I was trying to figure it out, I was like, oh, what the hell's going on there with the hi-hat in it? But it's the bell, because check it out. Right? It adds to it. So now let's go ahead and improvise with this bell on the hi-hat. You know, it adds a little extra sound to our already very minimal drum set, right? With just a bass drum, snare drum, hi-hat. But just having this little extra sound with us is already going to draw out some other options because I'm hearing different things. I'm going to start imagining different things. So let's go, starting off with using these elements of Berj's groove, and let's get it going. So these are just some ideas. You know, like, okay, we'll give you one more thing, okay? So we have the last segment, right? The last beat. Why don't we swap the second double, right? So with some kicks. So it's gonna sound like this. 2, 3, 4. That's pretty cool, right? So that's what I want you to do. Just find your own little thingies. Things that you just hear and you try out, right? It's not about copying it, because I don't really think that makes a lot of sense. But I'm just giving you these building blocks to come up with your own. So please like, subscribe, and you know what? Share your own version of these grooves. You know, find me on Instagram. I'm also under Drums Tutory Go. On Facebook, I have a Facebook page called Drums Tutory Go. Like, find me on there and share your version of like what you come up with using all these building blocks. All right, I'm looking forward to it, and stay tuned for the next one. And also stay tuned for the interview, because I'm gonna be asking him, the guy who came up with this amazing groove, a lot of his ways of thinking and approaching these kind of things. All right, see you at the next one.